Hello everyone, welcome to the Tech Podcast series. This is Lakshit Pant from Azure Developer Community. In the Tech Podcast series, former episode, we have been keep exploring all the innovation and sustainability, technological advancement in the industry. In all these episodes, we have been talking with all these industry leaders, learning from their experiences, inviting to the podcast to help us understand what is going in the startup ecosystem. In today's episode, we are very excited to explore the fascinating world of bioplastics, with a focus on Oki India, a startup that works in, material science company that revolutionized maybe, in terms of plastics. And for the same, we have here Sandeep Kumar Tyagi, the co-founder and chief operating officer of Oki India. To kick off this podcast, if you could introduce yourself first, it would be really great.
Hi, Lakshit. Thanks for introducing me to the podcast. I'm Sandeep Tyagi. As you introduced that, I'm the co-founder and the CEO at the UKI. And UKI is a material science company. We are working in the B2B space, and we produce the affordable, compostable, biodegradable polymers, uh, which are the alternate to the fossil fuel-based plastics.
So, moving ahead to the to our first question, right? Because I just wanted to know the story behind Oki, right? So, if you could share from the inception and what inspired you to bring out a focus on this utilizing agriculture and agriculture waste for bioplastics, and how has been the journey so far?
Yeah, actually, the journey of Uki, has been very interesting. It started way back in 2019 when we started traveling around Uttarakhand to just find out about the hemp and just discussing with the farmers, connecting with them to know more about hemp production and how they are doing, the farming for that. During that journey, we found out a lot of problems on the ground the farmers were facing and the local people as well, like unemployment and migration was, rampant there. And we encountered a lot of ghost villages also there, in Uttarakhand, Just to just keeping that in mind, we just try to find the solution to all these problems and promoted the hemp, and started our campaign with the local farmers and just to tell them that this is a miracle, plant,
You know,
Yeah.
because I can also resonate with the statement that you're making, because I also belong to Uttarakhand, right? I belong to a city named Pithoragarh from in Uttarakhand. And if moving to the next question of this episode, I just wanted to know, like, what has been the approach so far, for utilizing these agri waste contributing to global warming and all the plastic pollution that you comment, right? How do you see? And I just wanted to know your approach to materialize all these things.
See, as you know, the plastic pollution is a global problem,
Right.
and the interesting part of this, the maximum percentage of the pollution comes from the single-use plastic, from the
Okay.
total pollution, if you consider.
Right.
So, and the government has given a directive uh, to stop and to ban the single-use plastics from the normal polyolefins chain, basically.
Fair
You
enough.
know,
Yeah.
uh,
Okay.
and the maximum focus has been given on the film and the poly bags. Right now the directive is you cannot use less than 120 micron for any normal plastic, basically. So keeping that in mind, we have started this biodegradable and compostable polymers with the agri waste. Uh, it is a proprietary tech we have developed with the
Okay.
help of local, I mean, research and development team we have on the ground,
Okay.
and that's it. Right now, yeah. That's the. Right now we are doing.
Okay, perfect. So every industry, every startup, or every industry has its own challenges, right? What do you? I just wanted to know, like, what specific challenges did you encounter in all this journey, right, of 2 years while developing? and bioplastics, maybe from materials like hemp and maybe bamboo, right? What are the major challenges that you feel are really tough to grasp?
No, as you know that I mean, when we started, the normal perception in the market is that hemp is a banned crop. Basically, it's illegal to grow and all. I mean, because it was banned way back in 1980s from the U.S. Convention and all this thing. So because of that, we faced a lot of problem to make people understand. No, this is not a illegal. It's a legal crop because leaf and stamp of this plant you can use without any problem. Okay,
Okay,
so
yeah.
that's the part. I mean, we are using the stem part for our agri waste from that, and those sort of challenges were there to make people understand. Okay, to grow, and we in during the process we met a lot of politicians and the brokers as well to make them aware of the ground realities about the farmer problems and the problem about this hemp. I mean, inhibition. I mean, just to because of the policies and all.
Okay, and talking about the future perspective, right? How do you envision maybe from a future per se, future of bioplastic? If we see right now, if we talk about right current industry trends, right? Everyone wants to build something in sustainable tech, right? But it's not that easy to build maybe any startup or maybe take some initiative in the sustainable environment or build something realistic in the that can result to something fruitful down the line for the next 10 years. I don't know, right? But how do you envision the future of bioplastics evolving in the context of global sustainability efforts?
No, I mean, see, there is no other option left. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, about the change from the normal olefins chain to bioplastic and biodegradable and compostable polymers, basically.
Okay.
I mean, world has to change. I mean, sooner than later, basically. India, it is changing at a very fast pace compared to the rest of the world. Basically, the rest of the world is in a dilemma whether they should go for the recycle route or they should go for the biodegradable and compostable route. So they are still in a dilemma. But in India, we have taken a, I mean, right approach, and the government is pushing it through their initiatives, basically putting the ban on the normal polyolefins. So the economy comes in also in picture, basically.
Okay.
When I mean, as I explained you earlier, as I told you, the directive is you cannot use less than 120 micron for the normal polyolefins chain. Whereas with the biodegradable and compostable agri-waste polymer which we will produce, one can achieve the same means quality, strength, and workability within the 30 to 40 micron. You see,
Okay.
so the economic of the scale comes in picture also. Though initial cost of the biodegradable and compostable polymer is slightly higher, but when you compare 120 micron vis-a-vis 40 micron, I mean, that also, I mean, is not a question.
Okay. And
No,
if we talk about the potential of the applicate from an application perspective, right? Like the bioplastic that you are producing at present, I just wanted to know what are the applications in the different industries.
see the bioplastic and whatever we are on compostable polymer, what we are producing can be used for different verticals, basically, like the blow moldings. I mean, film production, injection molded items as well, like the cutlery and all what we use in, I mean, normally in a lot of
Okay.
function and all single use. And but our main focus right now for the polythene industry, basically, film industry, which is, I mean, used. I mean, not. I mean, in all the aspect of, I mean, in the industry. I mean, to name a few industry like automobile industry, all the OEM supplier of the automobile industry, they send their all the parts and everything wrapped in the polythenes and everything to the assembly line, basically. So it's a very big, I mean, volume it generates. Those are supposed to be. I mean, they are converting at a very fast pace right now. I mean, from normal polyolefins to biodegradable and compostable polythene. And secondly, like the e-commerce, I mean, industry as well. You understand
And
all the
yeah, and if we go specific about any particular success stories that you might have to share, right? If you might want to share maybe any case studies that where you find Oki's bioplastic have made a tangible impact on reducing plastic pollution. What reference would you like to give?
No, actually, I mean, we are just coming up with our manufacturing facility in IMT Manesar. I mean, we should be ready and I mean, with the production and everything by latest by October, you say.
Wow.
And this facility will be, I mean, to start with only 4 ton per day, and the plans are to scale up to 25 to 30 ton per day within the next 2 to 3 years. I mean, we
Wow.
have employees in hands, I mean, which are, I mean, more than the capacity we are putting up right now. And
Wow.
if you have market scenario, the demand is more than the LOIs what we have right now.
Right.
You understand?
And
I mean, as success story, we did only the POCs with the, I mean, local available research facility and local available production facilities. And we have just taken this next step to set up something of our own to take it to the next level, basically, in terms of the, I mean, further development and the production and catering to the market, basically.
wow. So, how do you, when if we talk about from a consumer perspective, because that's a very tough call to make, because from an industry, from a user standpoint, user always prefer what's already present in the market, and it's very tough to make a transition out there, right? Because plastic has been there, and it's very easy to get a plastic out to mold it, right? So, how do you educate consumers or maybe these business owners about the benefits of switching to bioplastics?
Yeah, I mean, it is very true. I mean, see, the consumer, I mean, see, there is a very big chain for the consumer, like, fact, I mean, industries as a consumer, then the local market people as vendors as a consumer, like the people who sell the vegetable, the shop owners who gives you a lot of things for, I mean, in the polybags and all, and likewise all the cutleries and everything whatever people are using. The only thing is, the government is also playing their role in promoting this. I think last year DRDO came up with a webinar. I mean, all over India. I mean, pan India, on pan India basis, for the industries basically to adopt this biodegradable and compostable, I mean, units. I mean, just to produce these polymer for the end user basically. So we have a plan just to when we start our manufacturing facility to take DRDO on board, just to, I mean, do the same thing for the end user perspective, not from the industry perspective this time around. I mean, just to educate. I mean, it's easy to industry to get along with the change, which has, reason being the economy is there, and the government directive is there, but this directive will not percolate to the very down, I mean, level, basically, to the vendors, to all these people. It is a challenge, but we'll overcome this.
And if we move the podcast a little bit more from an initiative perspective, right? If you want to discuss any kind of current or upcoming initiative or projects that Oki might want to work upon, or it's more like a future mission, what do you want to specify here?
Future mission, I mean, actually, as I told you, that we are starting this, I mean, our first facility in 2014. And if I see, I mean, I see, I mean, 2030 as a benchmark goal. I mean, we should be able to take our industry as a multi-million-dollar industry by that time. So
Wow.
our the entire organization's focus is on, I mean, just to take it up to that level, and we should be having our IPO by then.
Wow. And if we talk about this particular sustainability industry, right? Every entrepreneur or maybe every startup that want to establish or maybe trying to step their foot in, right? It's not a very generic call to make, right? It's not something like very easy, something like maybe we will build a software that we are watching or maybe observing in the AI industry at present. Like it's very quick or it's very easy to build something out there and launch a product in the market, but it's not something that relates to the sustainable growth or development in the sustainable industry. So I would like to hear from you, what advice would you give to any other entrepreneur or maybe startup looking to enter in this sustainable materials industry?
See, I mean, as I told you, this sustainability issue. I mean, there are few industries which are very prone. I mean, which are taking a lot on the environment. Like the textile industry is the one. The plastic industry is the second one also. I mean, they are at par in terms of the environmental impact, environmental damage basically, not the impact. I say. I mean, my, I mean, take on this will be that whatever is being done, that it should show some. It should show in numbers basically. Some tangible things one should be able to translate whatever the product, whatever things somebody is doing basically.
Okay.
Whether it's the use of AI and all these things, but at the end of the day, if something is not, there on the ground, nothing will work. I mean, as I'm telling you, biodegradable and compostable, the difference between normal polymers and this one is, I mean, normal polymer, I mean, they just disintegrate into the environment and it pollutes, it contaminates the water supply, soil, and even the food chain as well. And vis-a-vis
Wow.
this biodegradable and compostable polymer, they just biodegrade and compost. I mean, into their natural, I mean, normal constituents like the carbon, I mean, hydrogen and the water. I mean, say within 8 to 12 months, once they come in contact with the soil, basically.
Wow.
So this is a proven thing. I mean, when somebody is doing that, I mean, it is a proven thing. I mean, there's nothing. I mean, has to in any.
Right, definitely. The numbers really play more than any words or random statements that one should make. Lastly, how can any individuals or businesses can contribute to maybe advancing to adoption of bioplastic and supporting companies like Uki in their mission?
Yeah. I mean, that's the need of the hour. I mean, if you ask me, I mean, for each and every to just shift to this. I mean, I'm just focusing on the poly bag segment right now only, but the use cases are enormous. You know, the cutlery industry, railway. I mean, as a big department, they can support a lot. I mean, into this. Likewise, all the other government department can come. To support as well.
Wow. So thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing all these insights. It was really wonderful talking to you. It was my pleasure to host you for this podcast. And to all our listeners, as Sandeep sir has mentioned, like it's the need of hour, and it's not something that will happen very quick or with a snap of finger. It will take time. It will definitely. It's a gradual process that one has to go through. There are lots of processes that are involved while we are building in this sustainable environment tech, right? So stay tuned. We are coming up with lots of initiative. We are coming up with lots of episodes of the Tech Podcast series. And again, thanking Sandeep for joining for this podcast. It was my pleasure to host you.
Thanks very much.